This is West Ham Unofficial. Welcome back. This is a big talk about football episode 20. Good evening to everybody in the chat. 9 people watching. I'd just like to address this comment first. Late again. We've been live 1 minute and 7 seconds, and it's 1 minute past 7. So actually, we were on time. But hello to everybody in the chat. Alessia's in the chat. James is in the chat. Love the show. Great chats. Thank you very much. Peach is in the chat. Good evening, morning, wherever it is, Peach. For you, W&P, good evening. Hello, Russ. Nice to see you too. Evening. Apparently I need a new watch. That's interesting. Here we go. Getting streaming lessons for WP. Look. I was all right. I'll admit, I did click live and then it went 1 minute past, but we were live. I've no clue what touche means. Come on, Russ, inform me what that means. But Mike has joined me. Good evening, Mike. You all right?
Evening, Jake. Yes, fine, thanks.
Yeah, good. 5th in the league.
Yeah, still living the dream, aren't we, mate?
Yeah,
still
definitely
living the dream.
Yeah,
it wasn't great. It wasn't pretty, was it? But I mean, it's another 3 points.
Oh yeah, completely. I mean, we've got a preview coming up. Got lots of stuff coming up. Let's see who else is in the chat. Phil's in the chat. Good evening, mate. Phil. Laughing. Kent says hello, Jake. How's school been? Yeah, that's right. I'm not going to go into detail because this is a football show. We're going to guest very shortly, hopefully. Hello, Jake. How's school been? Yeah. It's been good to be back. Holla to you too, James. Holla. So yeah, we're in a good place. I know you might be coming back on later on, Mike. But just just as
not a problem, mate.
just as we wait for a couple of guests. Fabianski signed a new contract. Happy days. I mean, I think that solidifies any keeper coming in the summer, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I think it's the right thing to do, to be honest. I did say something about we're getting a bit concerned about injuries with our keepers, but I think he deserves another year. It's great news. Same with Nobes. So, I mean, it's they both deserve another year at least. He might be.
Definitely.
What's he now? 35? Is it? Or 34? Sorry.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, 35. But hey, keepers do mature with age a bit, so no worries there.
Yeah, completely. We're gonna have a look at that letter later on as well. So stay tuned. Mark Noble's open letter. And talk about him. Who else is in the chat? James is in the chat. Good evening, James. You've made a show. Well done. Because you always comment that you miss the show. You're here for a show. So hello, mate. Good evening, Jake and Co. Good evening, guys. Get your thoughts, comments, all of that in. And hit the like button on today's video, and we've had lots of content coming up lately. Check that out. We had an interview with former Coventry, Swansea and Cardiff striker John Williams go up on a couple of days ago, so that was really good. Check that out. All the stuff coming. Man United game, lots of stuff coming. So hit that subscribe button as well. Subscribe to West Ham Unofficial. I think we're currently on 124 rate. Let's get to 1250 by the end of the show. That would be nice. So please subscribe. Please check out Canning Town Len. Using the link in the description. I'm not going to play the video now. But check him out for your portraits. Look, if I just switch that around there, look. For all of the portraits, there you go. There's one of them there. So guys, get your comments in the comment section. Mike, we might as well delve into a bit more whilst we wait. Mark Noble, a lot has happened. A lot more transfer rumours has come out. Typical West Ham, innit?
Yeah. But it's two positive things really. Fabianski and Noble signing, because like we said the other day. Noble deserves to go out in front of fans. The service he's put in has been phenomenal. He's always give everything for the club, and he really deserves a big send off.
Completely. And I think with Noble, I mean, that letter was really touching, wasn't it? I mean,
oh yeah.
I mean, he's just one of us from Canning Town Len, really, isn't it? Canning Town. He's just one of us, and he's superb. Guys, get your comments in about Noble. It's just, I mean, do you think that was the right decision for you, Mike? To give him an extra year?
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, he had to have another year. He knows he's not going to play much anymore, but he deserves to. We're probably all depending where we're going to finish in the league, isn't it? I mean, if we get into Europe, if we're in the Europa League, especially, I mean, he'll be needed.
Yeah.
He's going to be needed. We know we've got to expand our squad, but he's still going to be needed.
Yeah, definitely. Right, let's see what people are saying. Let's see your shirt. Guess who's on the back? Right, I've got headphones on. This might not work. Guess is in Yarmolenko. It is actually, if I can turn around,
Yes. Well,
it is the one and only. I thought, this could be the last year when I bought this. It could be his last year, so I pounced on it. And that's just interesting. That is because that's the second only shirt that I've had to have a player shirt on the back, and the first was a hero from the 15-16 season who will not be named. I've still got the shirt. It's too small for me now. I don't wear it. But thoughts on the performance against Leeds? Yeah, go on then, Mike. Fire away because James is out.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it wasn't pretty. It was 3 points. The first 5 minutes, we were lucky not to be 2 down, and it could have been a very different story if those fine margins hadn't fallen our way. But everyone goes on about Leeds, and they do play great attacking football, a good team to watch. But that's no good if you can't defend corners, is it? I mean, in the Premier League, I mean, we did say last week, didn't we? I said I fancied Dawson to get a goal against them. It was.
Yeah.
I was so chuffed with that goal. I think Souček pushed him on his way as well. There's no way that ball wasn't going in there.
Yeah.
And yeah, so yeah, it wasn't a great performance. I think Lindegaard probably had one of his weaker performances. He got the penalty. He did a bit. He did the job to get us into the game and get us in front. But I mean, he wasn't on his own. There was a lot of players that were just a little bit off. But we showed true character again. We showed some fight, and we got the 3 points. And we dug in and defended well again.
Yeah, completely. To be fair, James did call it as well. He said on the preview or on this show, he said that I fancy a defender to score. And he did. And I mean, any other ground, his head would have cannoned into the advertising boards. Not at the London Stadium. He slid for about 5 meters. He was still 2 miles away from the advertising boards. But that's the London Stadium. That's what we're all used to, isn't it?
Definitely, yeah. Yeah, I just love the way that that I said he just got shoved into the net. Everything went in, didn't it? There's no way he went in.
Completely, yeah. Let's see what other guys are saying. Kent says, "Great Fab signed a new deal, but we need another keeper because Randolph not good enough for me." Yeah, I mean these two they're getting the more injuries prone, aren't they? Randolph and Fabianski. Let's just hope that one of them can hold out for another year.
Yeah, I think it is concerning that Randolph's only played a few games and he seems to pick up an injury in every game he plays in. So that is a concern. I think we've got to be looking at that. We really have. Make an investment.
Yeah. A Liverpool fan just popped into the back, so we'll get him on. But let's just finish off these comments. Kent says Nobe's video on club YouTube channel was emotional class act. Yeah, it was. It wasn't Dawson and Kent. Of course, Kent got it right. Kent never gets anything wrong. He goes Noble. Cyber Leader's got more on the back. Noble last season going to be emotional. I've got Bobby Moore's shirt wore by him and signed by him. Wow, that would be worth some money. Apart from 20 minutes, poor versus Leeds, a win's a win. Yeah. 20 minutes we weren't poor. I think that definitely getting that penalty helped us. I called Dawson too. You certainly did. How much you say your Bobby Moore shirt for? I think it's priceless, mate. I really do. I think Leeds were lucky not to lose by 4 or 5. Says WMP. Phil says Henderson could be available as Man U want to sell De Gea and buy Donnarumma. And just coming now, it's the one, the only David Moyes. Hello, Dave. Hope you're well, mate.
Evening,
Whoever
Dave.
you are. Evening. Right. Let's get our Liverpool fan on. Miss Richard. Richard. Good evening.
Hello.
How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. And yourself?
Yeah, not too bad. In terms of Liverpool, then, I mean,
Yeah. Hey, what's that laughing? Hey.
I'm
We're
gonna
not
get
laughing at Liverpool, honest.
Yeah.
honest. It's not the first season in decades that we haven't been above you. But anyway, RB Leipzig last night. Another 2-0 win, 4-0 on aggregate through to the next round of the Champions League. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, really good. I think it makes a huge difference having Fabinho back in our midfield. Yeah, he just solidifies everything there, and made Thiago play well yesterday. I thought our centre backs played well, but no, for Fabinho, for me, he's the one that can mop up. He does all the dirty work, doesn't he? He makes it nice and simple, and then can spring forward for the three forwards up front, and obviously Jota has got the pace as well to help.
Yeah.
So no, really good. Happy about that.
Yeah. David Moyes has come in and said, "I want Henderson Dean, but Man U won't let me take him for less than 60 mil." Oh, well, I'm sure you can swivel your way out of that, Dave. I'm sure you can find something. You've got Wolves in your next game, mate. Confident for that?
If we play like we play in Europe, then yeah. If they sit back and just wait for us, then that's when we struggle against teams. But hopefully it'll give a bit of confidence. And I think, like I said, if Fabinho can stay in midfield, then that could, I think we'll win more games than lose from now on in. And I'd like us to get paired up with Real Madrid as the next round. I want to avenge that one. That's the one that I want.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you say it's on the up, but it's still not on the up because you're looking up at West Ham United.
Hey,
I mean,
take that down.
Oh, you say take it down. I'll give it all its glory.
Yeah.
I'll give it all its glory. But in all seriousness, though, I think we'll do this. Just give me 2 sets. Let's go like that. And then like that. What do you think about that then, Rich? What do you think about that?
Yeah, it's not good, is it? It's just too tight as well, isn't it? I mean, you have got Spurs there, you got Villa when their game's in hand. I mean, Everton. Who's your next match then? Who West Ham got next?
We've got Man United next game.
Have you? Oh, that makes things interesting then. But I think this is the good thing about it, though, isn't it? Because virtually all of those, everybody just plays everybody now, don't they? And Leicester. They I thought Leicester were going to slip up, but then especially when they went 1-0 down, I thought, oh, could this be their 3-4 like they did last season? But then they clawed it back, didn't they, to win 2-1? And Chelsea, they've yet to lose, have they, against Tuchel?
No, they haven't. No.
And will they hold on? I think they probably will. So. Yes, it is tough. It is tough. I don't, who else have you got? Have you got City and stuff like that, or you played all?
No, we've played City. I think we've got Arsenal after United. I think I will get the fixtures up. But there's some stick being taken out of you in the chat, Rich.
Yeah, let's just keep talking then. Jake. That's fine.
Is Liverpool's dream to finish above West Ham? Well, there you go. And then shots fired even more. James says, how does it feel to see Liverpool looking bang average?
Oh, I know it does hurt. It does hurt a lot. I didn't think we'd fall from grace so quickly. But
yeah,
I really do think next season, if Virgil's back and we keep the same sort of team, I think we'll put a good show on for next season and get a crowd back. We desperately miss the crowd massively, hugely. So
yeah, Mike, it's nice looking at that. I mean, just looking at that, I mean, there's lots of people in for the running. It's just seeing Liverpool in 8th. I mean, you wouldn't have predicted that. Us in 5th. I mean, loving life, aren't we? What else has people said?
We've got to enjoy it while we can. Jake. We've got to really enjoy it while we can.
Exactly. WP says, I think Liverpool fans individually did deal with the devil for last season's first place. This season is the devil getting the payback. There you go. Rob's saying, come on, United. Well,
I'll take that down.
Does Rich still wish he was a customer of mine?
I do.
Right. Oh, David Moyes has come back and he said, "I want to win. I want to win above Tottenham. Definitely can't stand Mourinho always shouting." Well, there you go. We've nicked 4 points off them in the last in this season. But I'm just digging the photo out. No, it's not Craig Dawson, because we are now joined with an Everton fan that is Scott to give his thoughts. He did this last week to give his thoughts on this image up here. Scott, good evening. You all right?
I'm really well, pal. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Do you want to just comment on this in terms of Liverpool's position in the league, Scott?
There's a danger here that I could get a bit too excited, a little bit too early. And we all know in football it's the hope that kills us.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm loving it.
Yeah.
On every level.
Yeah. David Moyes, this isn't the real David Moyes, by the way, but David Moyes says, hello, fellow. Right, James has said we've got Man U, Arsenal, Wolves, and Leicester next, so there's some really tough games in there.
There we go. There we go.
But we still believe. Scott, coming to you in terms of Everton, 2-0 loss against Chelsea last time out. Disappointing, but at the end of the day, you're still 3 points above Liverpool. So there you go.
With a game in hand, which is critical.
With a game in hand.
Let's not lose sight of that. To be fair, against Chelsea on Monday, it was men against boys. They were much better since West Ham's old hero Frank Lampard left and Tuchel popped up. They've become a different proposition altogether, haven't they? I genuinely didn't expect much from the game, but if I break it down, they got a deflected goal and a penalty that was inches away from being a great save from Pickford, so not that far away, despite the fact that we did struggle at parts in the game. It's all about the progress and being above Liverpool.
Richard, I bet you guess you didn't come on here tonight. I'll
stop. I won't carry it on.
James says, will it be another 30 years before Liverpool win a title? All right, let's just cut the line there. Let's cut the line there. But I mean, Mike, it's happy to see us in that 5th position in it, and let's hope we can stay there above the Sky Sports Big Six size.
The so-called Big Six, yeah. I mean, joking aside, I mean, if we get a Europa League place, I'll be well chuffed. And we still got to win a few. I know we've got a few tough ones coming up, but our last 4 games, I know there's no such thing as a, easy 3 points. There's no gimmies. But those last 4 games are games that we should win. So I mean, and then you look around at the other teams that are all playing each other in those last 4 games. So
are we not one of your last 4 games?
Yeah. I think
we've got Southampton last.
Yeah, the Southampton. I think you might be the 4th. The one furthest.
I admire the confidence.
Yeah, I mean, to be totally honest. Yeah, I mean, we were lucky to beat you up there, really, weren't we? That was a dig-in game again.
Yeah, and we were poor that day as well. You were good. You were defensively very good.
Yeah, we were sound in the back. But to be totally honest, I think looking at Chelsea, Tuchel, he's really done a job with them. And they might not score many goals, but they're not going to lose many games.
No.
So I see them nailed on as one of the top 4, and I can't see us breaking that. I really can't. But if we can hang on to 5th or 6th, I'll be well chuffed.
Yeah. Mike, thank you very much for coming on to co-host the show for 20 minutes. I'll see you later on.
See you later, guys.
Thank you.
Nice to see you, Mike.
We are joined by Rob, who's a Man United fan. Rob, good evening.
Hello, Rich. Sorry, Jake. I've just got to say hello to Rich.
Oh.
Hello, mate.
It's all happening now, isn't it, eh?
Yeah. Good evening, anyway. You all right?
Yeah, good to see you. Good to see you yourselves.
Honestly, Rich, I bet you think, why did I come on here tonight? Why didn't I just sit down and watch Man United? Why didn't I sit down and watch Man United?
Yeah. Your dad set me up, I'll tell you.
He's got you right up, hasn't he?
He has.
Rob,
it could have been worse. It could have been a couple of weeks ago after the derby.
Yeah.
That was more interesting.
Yeah.
True. Yeah. So we've got in terms of Man United, what is the score? I'm playing AC Milan currently. Rob,
1-0.
1-0 up. Yeah. 1-0 up.
Mm.
Diallo scored for you. Positive.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, I've not got BT, so I'm having to listen to it on the radio. But I've just been on Twitter, and there's a few clips of the goal on there.
Right.
It's a cracking little goal. I don't know if any of you have seen it yet.
Not yet.
No,
No.
I've
not seen it yet.
No.
It's come from Bruno, like most things do. He's chipped over the top, and Diallo's kind of backward headed it in. Yeah, it's a lovely little finish for him. Yeah, glad he's got a goal on his debut for us.
Yeah, little shout out for there was a little shout out for Bruno Fernandes in there. But it is funny you bring up Bruno Fernandes because I found this stat on Twitter yesterday. That in 2021 we are, by the way, over 3 months into 2021. Craig Dawson has scored more non-penalty goals than Bruno Fernandes all season. And Craig, look, he is buzzing about it. So there you go, Craig. There you go. I salute you. West Ham fans salute you. But there you go. Scott, if we come back to you then, in terms of Everton, you got Burnley in your next game. You confident about that?
Problem for us, I was just thinking before I came on to that, I was thinking about the season. And for us at the minute, when we're playing the so-called better sides, we perform better. Teams that sit back against us and try and catch on the break, like West Ham did, Newcastle, Fulham, struggled in those games. So I've got a severe amount of caution. On paper, we should batter them, but I've never seen a game of football won on paper, because if that was the case, Liverpool would never have lost a game for the last 10 years, would they? Never mind. So yes, I think we should win the game. If James plays, I think that makes a difference, because he's the guy that plays for us that can open up any team with a bit of magic. When he doesn't play against those teams, we tend to struggle to create enough opportunities. Yeah, I'll take a stuffy 1-0.
Has he been a bit injury prone then, James? Has he?
Injury prone is a big thing. He's probably missed 7 or 8 games. He missed quite a lot of games after the derby because, and this isn't a veiled dig, Van Dijk got him twice early in the game, and he came off. He struggled through for about 70 minutes, and then he didn't play again for about 8 weeks, and he's been on and off since then. He's missed about the last 3. We need him back really for games like Burnley, particularly, because that's when you need someone that, with a left foot like he's got, he's genuinely one of the most beautiful left foots I've ever seen in football. He's a joke what he can do with the ball, and you need that creativity. Yeah. Teams that are going to sit there and grind out a 1-0 win or a 0-0 draw. Yeah.
James has put in a question for you, Scott. What do you expect from your team for the remainder of the season?
I'd snap your hand off now at top 6. Think where we were last season. The improvement under Carlo's unbelievable. With one proper transfer window, from where we were to where we are, he's amazing. And the difference he's made on certain players like Tom Davies, Calvert-Lewin, Lucas Dean, even Yerry Mina, bringing in Ben Godfrey, players like that you wouldn't expect to be having a big effect at the top end of the Premier League now are. So I'd love top 6. My 2 lads are desperate for me to take them on a Euro away next season, pandemic permitting. So from a purely selfish point of view, to take my 2 boys away to watch Everton away somewhere in Europe, that'll do for me.
Yeah. David Moyes is still saying hello in the chat. He says, hello, I return. And then he says, it's okay, but I want to beat Ole on Sunday. Well, just for you, Dave, I found the most flattering picture of you to put up on screen. There you are in all your glory, Dave. There you are. I hope you like that.
What do you think for the game? What do you think about your game this weekend?
In terms of West Ham, we've got we beat Leeds, happy days. United on Sunday. Come on, we'll give them a run for their money, considering that Rob still got his champions for 2012, 2013. 2013 behind him. Yeah, we'll let's hope we can give him a run for their money. Rich, in terms of Liverpool, we brought it up earlier. I'm not going to bring it up again. But sitting in 8th, sitting in 8th position, do you really think realistically that all you can hope for now, unless you win the Champions League, is to get into that Europa League spot?
Yeah, I'm half even wondering if it's worth us being in the Europa League next season, and that we just concentrate on the league again, and claim that back from City. That's what I know. It's nice to be in Europe. If we don't get there, obviously from Champions League, playing that Thursday, Sunday, I think it does. It takes its toll, and I think it'll take a toll on us. Maybe we do the FA Cup and league next season.
Yeah. Oh, well, it is tough considering with the COVID.
Just the FA Cup and the league.
I tried not to laugh then. I really tried not to laugh. I couldn't not.
I was just trying to be realistic. That was all.
Well, I mean, especially at the moment, because when the Europa League, Champions League wasn't happening, you were still all the teams were still playing 2 times a week, and now the teams that are in Europe have still got to play 2 times a week. So I mean, it's got to take its toll at some stage, hasn't it?
I've got
Rob,
a question for Richard. Oh, go on. Sorry. Go on. It's a good question. It's a good question, and it's a serious one. Jurgen Klopp's got history for leaving teams at the end of a season and not recycling a team to be better.
Yeah.
So he did it at Mainz. He did the same at Dortmund. Got Dortmund to win the league, Champions League final, and then couldn't go again and recreate another side.
Yeah.
It feels like Klopp's there with Liverpool at the minute. Yeah. Do you guys feel the same, or are you starting to be concerned about it, or no?
I think next season is the biggest teller for us because of like you said, it's that 4-year cycle, isn't it? Where we've been great for 3 years, and then this 4th year we dipped because of injuries and etc. Weird times. But I don't think you can really truly test it until next season. But I do have a concern maybe with our front 3 that we haven't been firing on all front 3. I have got a little bit of doubts with the way that Salah and Mane have been linking up this season. In the fact that they haven't, and Firmino's just not done it this season for us. So then, us buying Jota, I'm hoping would bridge that, so that he becomes the one that again anchors the front 3. That's my hopes anyway.
Yeah, and there's a few questions that have come in for you guys in the comments. So let's just finish off these ones here. Rob, would you consider finishing, in that second, if you can stay there, 3rd position, a really successful season for United this season? 10 games, 11 games to go. Would that be fantastic for you? Do you think?
Yeah, I'm reluctant to say it's a successful season, because a season without any silverware, I don't think you can class as successful. But it will be progression again, I think. It will cement Ollie's place. And I'll take it. I'll be happy with it. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Right. A couple of questions have came in the chat. A couple of digs as well. But it's always going to happen, isn't it? Everton are exciting to watch again. Yes, they are. When do you think Steven Gerrard will return to Liverpool? Will he ever? Quick answer.
I think he'll win 3 titles at Rangers, and Klopp will win another title for us before he arrives.
Stevie G's the next Lampard. Maybe they're not gone by the end.
No. Not having that.
This is interesting. For you, Scott, what's your ratings of Carlo Ancelotti this season? So give me a quick rating for Carlo Ancelotti's performance this season as your manager.
9.5 out of 10.
Solid, very solid.
He's made the biggest difference to our football club in 30 years. The mentality shift, the energy shift, the confidence shift, the performances, the players we attract. In his first season from where we were to where we are, it's unbelievable. And he genuinely feels like he's bought into the club and the people around the city, which bodes well for us the next 2 or 3 years. As we move into our new stadium on the Royal Docks, the Royal Blue Docks, and take over the city inch by inch.
David Moyes has put a request in. He said not really a request, but he said, "Who's that dog I can hear?" Because he's really interested. He's David Moyes.
I was going to say it's my missus.
Moving on. Phil says, Oh dear. Phil says, I remember in Klopp's last season at Dortmund, they nearly went down. This is another shot. James is on fire tonight. Klopp the flop needs to spend. Your cup final on Sunday, Rob?
First of a couple, maybe.
To be fair, every game for us now is a cup final. We need to win them all. Big Sam laid the foundation, Scott.
The rumour is he's going to Liverpool in the summer to help out with their leaky
Oh,
defence.
could you imagine?
I would die a happy man.
4-4-2. Clear the ball. Just clear the ball.
Part the bus. James says, Ollie at the wheel, how good does it feel to be trophyless for 4 years? James is on fire tonight.
Isn't he just?
Nice little dig. I like that one.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Rich is like, oh, well, that's not one at me. I'm like, woohoo. There you go. Right. Last question before I let you guys go, and if I can just scroll up and find it. I'm gonna come to you first, Rich, on this. Would you start Pickford in the Euros? Would he be your number one for England?
No.
And who would be?
I think it has to be Henderson.
Really?
That's
a
harsh.
bit cool.
Well, I mean, he can't even get in front of David De Gea sometimes, can he? But
He's trying to get his own back.
It was a weak attempt.
You know. Take Darren Randolph for Take Darren Randolph. He can't get in our side, but he's in the mighty Ireland's first team's side. Scott, from an Everton perspective, do you think that he should be England's number one?
I'm a massive supporter of Pickford. I'm a little bit biased. My youngest son's a goalkeeper and he's his hero, but he had just made the odd mistake, but he's still only 26. He's got big game experience. He did phenomenally well in the World Cup in 2018. He's hitting form right now. Played his game at Anfield and onwards. He's been outstanding. He was outstanding at Chelsea on Monday night. I don't see a better English keeper in the Premier League at the moment. People talk about Pope and stuff, but I don't think they've done anything to get ahead of him.
Peach, you said Pope all day. Rob, what's your thoughts on that? Peach is mad. Peach is mad.
Yeah.
That's a true statement. But I love you, Peach.
Yeah, no, I think Pickford. He's got the number one jersey at the moment, hasn't he? He's nailed in first. I think he's a cracking keeper, and I don't think Henderson is ready yet. So as much as whether you were serious then, Rich, or not, I think for the future, yes, definitely. You can see he's got the makings. But I don't see anyone challenging Pickford, and there's no reason to swap and change now, I don't think. Saving injuries.
Yeah.
Southgate loves him, doesn't he? Oh, there we go.
God, my car. So this is dodgy. This touchpad's dodgy. But anyway, guys, Rob, Richard, Scott, thank you very much for coming on tonight. But please, I'm going to put the video on now. We'll be back with West Ham fans, the best fans, and to talk proper football.
Take care, lads.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Please see the video here on Canning Town Lane. I'll be back very, very shortly. Canning Town Lane is your best place to buy custom portraits that you can buy on the internet. Canning Town Lane does animated portraits like this one he did for me up here. They're absolutely fantastic and I couldn't recommend them enough. So just some ones that he did for me. I've got this one here outside the London Stadium. I mean, it looks just like me, really. The best possible kind of animated portrait, kind of animated cartoon kind of picture I could hope for, really. They're absolutely amazing and they are so realistic, look exactly like me, and they are very good to buy. So make sure you do click the link in the description down below to buy a portrait from Canning Town Lane. I'd highly recommend them. Click the link in the description down below. He does animated portraits, non-West Ham related, West Ham related, lots of different backgrounds, any shirt, any background. You can basically customize it to your absolute kind of needs and what you exactly want. So click the link in the description down below to check out Canning Town Lane. Come on, your Irons. And it's time to talk West Ham, the best club, and I am joined by the one, the only, from Forge for Mine. I'm joined by Duke. Duke, good evening. You all right?
Good evening, young man. How are we?
Yeah, not too bad. I mean, the sight of this does please me, but guys, if you don't know, very soon, we did have the over on here on Hammers Chat and on Forged from Iron. I think it was about 2 weeks ago. We said if Forged from Iron can get to 100 subscribers by the end of March, Duke, yes, that man there, would say, what song was it? It's just lapsed my mind. What song was it, Duke?
Oh, it was Sex Bomb by the Welsh legend that is Tom Jones.
Legend.
Thank you.
Legend.
Thank you, Jane. Thank you so much.
And just to inform the viewers, just to inform them, when's this going to happen? We want a date, we want a time, we want a show. I'm only joking.
No,
but we did reach them. We got a big push here on West Ham Unofficial. I think they're on about 116 now. So as you can see, Duke is absolutely overwhelmed with it. Anything to say to the fans, Duke, before on Forged from Iron, live on Forged from Iron, you're going to sing that lustrous song?
I feel well and truly stitched up. I'm not going to lie to you. You and Gatesy, along with the help of the other channels and stuff, have absolutely stitched me right up. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to back out, and I will sing the song. We've got to try and work our way around the around the copyright.
I'll sort that out.
Yeah, I had a feeling you might. I had a feeling that something like this was coming. But no, listen. I said I'd do it. We'll do it. It's not going to be an issue for me. Gatesy, I will get my own back. I will get my own back once. Yeah, cheers, mate. Once we get through March and we head into April and we do another challenge for our next target of subscribers, then it'll be Gatesy's turn.
It will be Gatesy, and it's down to me and you then, Duke. It's all down to you. Tom Jones is in the house. Phil says, Duke, you should sing It's Not Unusual and do the Colton dance at the same time. I don't even know what that is, but quickly, let's go.
That good.
Right, should we talk a bit of West Ham?
Yeah, let's get the attention off of me and back where it deserves, shall we?
To talk West Ham as well, we got all the way over from America. God, Duke, would you imagine living in sunny America?
It depends on where, buddy, because yes, given half a chance, honest to God, I've got family that live in Rhode Island, in New England, and I'd be there in a shot tomorrow, given half a chance. I won't lie to you. I'd be up and gone and run my own little English pub in a part of America. I'd be living the dream, my friend. But coming at who do we have?
We have Katie from the American Hammers TV. Katie, good evening. You okay?
Hi, Jake. Good evening. Hi, Duke. Yes, sunny here in Philadelphia. We did have a great sunny day, and it's a famous TV show here, so it's always sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh, well, there you go. Lots has happened in the last week in terms of West Ham. We're going to leave Mark Noble until we've got our full panel. But let's start with Lucas Fabianski. Katie, we'll start with you. Signed until next summer, Lucas Fabianski. Do you think this kind of solidifies the thought that we're not going to buy a keeper in the summer now, do you think?
I think we need to, regardless. I think we need someone to back him up. I don't think that, I think he has a limited amount of time still left in him. We need to squeeze out as much as we can, but I think that we still should be looking at a keeper over the summer.
Yeah. Duke, are you kind of happy with that decision that broke a couple of days ago?
I mean, listen, for everyone who's seen my tier list on my channel there, I actually dumped all three goalkeepers. I was quite merciless with Fab and Randolph and David Martin there. I fully understand the decision to keep him. I do, but I really don't think this can stop us from, if one of those goalkeepers that are kind of languishing in the bottom half of that table become available for us in the summer, and we're talking Pope, we're talking Areola at Fulham, although he's there on loan. These are the sort of goalkeepers we need to be looking at. And if Fabianski's signing for another year, we kind of have those goalkeepers really putting pressure on each other for that position. Listen, we're only going to benefit from it. We really are.
Yeah. I said at the start, can we get to 1,250 subscribers by the end of the show? We've got there. I've just checked. We're on 1,250. So thank you guys for subscribing. And check go and subscribe to Forge for Mine as well. Go and subscribe to American Amateurs TV. Katie, you got a show coming up. Is it tonight, 2 a.m., whatever time it's open?
It is tonight at 2 a.m. Unfortunately, you will be asleep. But yes, it's called Hometown Hammer, and I feature any of the hammers across America or in London. And it's a talk show. It's fun. We like to have a good laugh, talk about food, and the favorite thing in the world, which is the hammer. So
yeah, definitely.
I gotta get you on soon, Jake. We gotta plan a time.
Yeah. James says, "Sing the people in Duke." Oh, Duke's like, what the hell
am I dealing
with
this pressure? I can't be dealing with the pressure, Jake.
Well, to be fair, I have rubbed it into you when this has just come in. Jake will now sing as he's at 1,250. God's sake.
Yes.
For God's sake.
We need to. Yes.
Duke, shush, Duke, get off. Oh, what do you want me to sing then, for goodness sake, chat? Who else is in? Good evening, mate. Phil says, evening, Katie. What's it like in Philly? I'm sure it's nice. You said it was sunny.
Yeah, I think today it's 70. We've been sitting around 40 to 50 degrees today at 70, which is phenomenal. But we are going to go back down to 40 next week, 40 and 30.
Oh dear.
No.
Yeah.
I'm just having a look what it's like where I 6 degrees. 6 degrees. But anyway, West Ham. I mean, I found this on Twitter and I found it quite amusing. I said it to the Man United fan earlier on. Craig Dawson. He has scored more non-penalty goals than Bruno Fernandes in 2021. I mean, who doesn't love the man, Katie? I mean, he's superb, isn't he? And I mean, something's come out in the last week we're going to talk about in terms of his contract as well. But I mean, we love the man.
Yeah, how can you not, especially after he saved that goal in the second half? I mean, my jaw just dropped to the floor. I think that, we did not expect these sort of performances from him, and he's really stepped up. We can't let him go.
Yeah, definitely. I've just seen this coming. Why do I let people do this? Select the song, Duke. I dread to think what's coming. Oh.
Leave that one with me, Rich.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Let me have a think. I'm sure we can stitch him up somewhere.
Phil says, Jake, you have to sing to get us in the summer mood. You have to sing We Wish You... No, it's March. Phil, it's March. But it's come out on various West Ham in the know sites in the last couple of days of that. We are 2 games away from activating, is it obligation to buy clause in Craig Dawson's contract that none of us knew about until it came out. So at the end of the Arsenal game, we can snap him up for £2.2 million, Duke. I mean, happy days.
I mean, listen, I was certainly one of probably every single one of us, to be fair, that when, in the summer they were banging on about, Tarkowski, 30, 31, 32 million. And we're all sitting there thinking, we've got this money to spend. This is superb. And then, no disrespect to Dawson, but every single one of us at the end of that transfer window went, what? Why? How? And to be fair, I mean, let's be honest, with the way social media is these days, and we certainly know that players have access to everything that we say now because of the internet. You can't tell me that he didn't get wind of any of this. You can't tell me that he didn't know what was being said. And for him to shoulder that, for him to be able to come out and, when he's dropped in, because let's be honest, oh my good Lord, I just absolutely went, whoa. When he was given the opportunity, he took that and what's happening? You're back now, Jake. He ran with it, and he's proved every single one of us wrong. And I, for one, will hold my hands up and say, you know what, I'm glad he has. I think he's been outstanding. He's very much, I'd consider to be an old school kind of centre back. He's not one to try and play football, if you will. He leaves that to the guys that are comfortable on the ball. He will clear, he will get himself in the way, but most importantly, those goals that he's scoring, and he's getting into them positions from the corners, the free kicks. I mean, we saw it against Leeds the other night. My brain went blank. You know, he got the first goal, and literally minutes later, he had the chance and hit the post for the second one. So, you know, I mean, I'm over the moon that we get that chance of keeping him, because he's forged a real good partnership in there, not just now with Ogbonna, but he's moved on to what seems to be a good relationship in the centre back there with Diop as well.
Yeah. In terms of that centre back position, Katie, I mean, when Ogbonna went out in that FA Cup tie, were you worried to see Diop come in alongside Craig Dawson?
Yeah, I really was. I'm not a huge Diop fan. I still think that he has a lot to work on. I think, I was worried about his communication, and you can see that towards the end of the game against Leeds, there are wide gaps of him not tracking back, and that's been a consistent problem for him throughout the season. So for us, we need to tighten that up over the next couple weeks, especially against Man United. So I was definitely nervous once Ogbonna went out. So Dawson's really stepped it up, and I've been really excited to see that. He's not only got very good interceptions, like you said, he's converted on goals, and his accuracy is gotten much better. So it's been exciting to see, and it was something I was not considering with Ogbonna being out.
Yeah. What I think Craig Dawson, I mean, I love him, but I seriously do think that he's really helped Diop's situation there. Because if I'm being honest, I think that Diop would struggle a lot more if Balbuena was in there, because I think those two, their communication isn't the best, Duke, is it? I mean, Craig Dawson, he's a leader. He's Ogbonna and Dawson. They're both, they communicate, and I think he's massively helped Diop and saved him a bit there when he had to come in. Don't you think, Duke?
Yeah, I mean, you notice when Diop first came in this season to make those appearances, and he did look shaky. I'm not sure if it's a language thing or what. I'm kind of at a point where I think he's been here long enough now to have picked up, the English language. That being said, I do believe that Ogbonna, from what I understand from some other videos I've seen, he does speak a little French. So if that's the case, he's being hindered in a way, because if he's got Ogbonna speaking to him in French, he's not picking up the English like he should be. But I'm also of a point of football's football. Football's an international language of its own, isn't it? So you should know your positioning. You should be able to read the game anyway. A couple of instances on Monday, he switched off a little bit, and I got a bit panicky. At one point you have Rafinha running at him, and I'm kind of hiding and looking through slits in my fingers, because I was worried that this, it could cause us some issues. But no, I think he's turning it round. I mean, he's only 23. We've got to remember this as well. It's not like he's of an age like Van Dijk. He's at 27, 28. He's already had that. He's still got to earn that big move. So we give him time. I mean, and I've said it many times across over on my channels. I don't think he's certainly not a finished article at centre back. But I also believe there's an opportunity there that he could be moved a little bit further forward into a deep line midfielder role, kind of take the pressure off of Declan Rice, Thomas Souček. That if next season, we've seen it with Moyes. Moyes has already done it a couple of times with Arnautovic and Antonio, and even Declan Rice, because he moved Declan Rice forward into that defensive midfield role. But you know what? He may just do that with Diop, and we might find that Diop's better position is a defensive midfielder and not actually that centre back role. So listen, I think he's got a long-term future with us. I don't want to see him go. I certainly don't want to see him sold and let go because he hasn't developed now where we want him to be. because he's still got a couple of years to be able to do that, in my opinion. So no,
I agree with you. I think he's young. I think he's young, but he's still a step behind. If you watch him defensively, he's getting beat. It's not that he's, not in the right position. He's there. It's just he's getting beat. He's not taking that first step to stay with that defender. So I think in time, you're right, he will improve upon that. But I'm just surprised it hasn't happened already. And it's just an experience thing. It could just be that, over time, he will know that he can't relax. He has to get up there and he has to step up.
Yeah. Afa's 23, no, 32. Sorry. My eyesight's a bit dodgy today, Tom. Afa's 32, not Afa's 23. There you go, Tom. Saying hello to you, and so is Rebecca as well. Hello, Rebecca. So there you go. What else? Is people saying? Right, let's say what some people are saying about this and Diop and all of this. So James says 11 games, possible 33 points. How many points would you think we realistically can get from 11 games? I'm going to pull this up now. I think we've got some tough games ahead, and I'm going to bring this up. We've got some tough fixtures, so let's just have a look what we've got coming up. So we've got Manchester United, and then we've got Arsenal, Wolves, Leicester, Newcastle, Chelsea, and then it comes to stops. We've got Burnley, Everton, a good side, Brighton, West Brom, Southampton. Them last 3 games, they're very winnable games. But there's no doubt about it, is there, Katie? There's a lot of tough games in there that we've still got to play.
Yeah, there definitely is. I would say we're probably leaning towards 18 more points. That's where I think we'll land.
Yeah. So that we're currently on 48 points. So that's 18. Oh dear, my maths ain't great. That's 18. That's 20. That's 66 points. Will that get us 66? I think that's right. I got a clue. I think that'll put us in a good. Duke, how many points do you think we need to get? To get into the European places. We're going on a European tour, Dukey boy.
We need more than 18 to get there.
Well, if we do, listen, I did a predictor with Gatesy a few days ago, and I think I had us down to pick up. I think I had us down to pick up 21 points. After a conversation with Gatesy, and actually one with my dad, and my dad is the most cynical West Ham fan that you could possibly find after years of suffering that he has done, and he actually agreed with me. He actually thinks we can get between 18 and 21 points coming out of the rest of these games. So if we can get the 21 points, I think we're in with a shout of that 4th, 5th place spot. And listen, even if we don't, this season has been absolutely outstanding. It's been a fantastic season. If we miss out by 3 or 4 points of that Champions League spot, or even 2 or 3 points of the 5th place spot, and we end up 6th, you know what? It is what it is. Just look back and enjoy what's been a great season. We can't let it be decided that it was a bad season just because we don't qualify for 4th or 5th spot. Because if you'd said to me at the start of the season we'd be where we are now, I would have laughed at you if I thought we could have got 48 points for the entire season back before the season started. So here we are with 48 points, 11 games to go. You know what? Bring on the likes of United, bring on the likes of Arsenal and Chelsea, because I don't actually fear. I'm not going into those going, I think we'll lose. I'm in there going, you know what, a draw? You know what, we can win. We can go to Old Trafford on Sunday. I think from what I read, six players missing. Who says we can't go up there and pick up the 3 points and actually push on again? So no, I said 21, and I'm confident that we can get there.
Yeah, I'm a very positive West Ham fan, and when we're up where the likes they are, I tend to dream because I'm a young person. I tend to dream, but for me, Katie, I think I wouldn't be disappointed, but I think that it will be one of our best opportunities pass us by if we don't get in that top 6. I think I will be overwhelmed for finishing 6th. Champions League for me. I'm optimistic, but I try to keep myself realistic. I
Brandon.
don't think I'll get more, but I think sixth is well in our hands. What do you think about that? And would you be disappointed if we don't get top six, considering where we are now?
I would. Yeah, I think that we definitely have the capability and potential to be 6 or above. If we creep down any lower than that, I think that, I will be sad knowing our potential. But, you can't deny the happiness considered where we were last year fighting relegation. I mean, it's exactly like Duke said. It's a whirlwind. It's been such an incredible year.
Yeah. Oh yeah, completely. And it's just funny us sitting here in March saying, we'll be disappointed if we don't get in the Europa League spot. Oh dear. Honestly. Right, what else have we got on the agenda to talk about? Now this is interesting. I also found this when I was, searching for stuff to talk about tonight. And I found this from David Moyes. I found this on Instagram. David Moyes is quoted, "I don't agree with the owners putting a £100 million price tag on Declan Rice. He is worth far more than that." And I love to hear that. I think it's wrong to put a price tag on him because I think him and Souček are priceless, Duke. But he's come out, fair play to him. He said, "I don't agree with putting a price tag on players like Rice," and fair play to him.
Yeah, I mean, listen, when that report came out, didn't it? That Jim White said that he'd spoken to, the Poison Dwarf and said that, he's told me it's north of 100. All of a sudden, you're putting a price tag on a player that makes other clubs sit up and take notice because you've basically given them your selling point, really. And if they'd come out and said, "We haven't got a price on him, it's going to take a lot of money for us to even let him go," I'd have accepted that a little bit more. I still wouldn't have been happy because at the end of the day, I want to hear it. I want to hear these guys coming out and saying he isn't for sale. Go away, look elsewhere. Same with Souček. 26 million from Barcelona. Jog on, go away. I wouldn't even pick up the phone or answer a fax. Show me age. Because the simple fact is, you've said it yourself, Jack. They're priceless for what they're worth to West Ham. We've been saying on 120 million, and you can have Rice. Why? He's worth more than that for us. There's the boy. He's worth more than that. At the end of the day, he's going to cost us something to replace in wages because we're going to have to convince someone to come on over. Shut up, Gatesy. So listen, I don't want to see him go. Not in a million years. I want to see James, even then, you're putting a price tag on a player that we don't want to let go. If someone comes in with £150 million and we go, no, they're going to go, well, you told us that's your price on him. So come on, let's talk business. So no, listen, he ain't for sale. I don't want to see him going anywhere. And just want to touch on one thing. On all the videos I've done, and everyone that I've met on these channels so far, the young lady there, Katie, is the only one to pronounce my name correctly. The only one so far. It's not Duke. It is Duke. And there it is. That's all I'm saying.
Why didn't you tell me that then? Why didn't you tell me that?
Because I have been called that all my life. If my dad was here, he would correct everyone. Everyone. But it's never bothered me. But yeah, Katie's the only person to have pronounced my name correctly.
Well, you can be Duke as long as I can be Duchess.
Sounds like a plan. But with everything that's going on over there with the Duchess at the minute, I don't think we need to be talking about that right now.
Ask Duke if his singing voice is in good condition.
Listen, right now. When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, it's Zamora. Right, that's all I'm doing. That's all you're getting. No, that's all you're getting. You're getting no more.
Hang on.
No, you're getting no more. Right, that's it. No more.
Right. We're gonna dedicate the last part of our show to the one, the only, Mr. West Ham. But let's go through some comments first regarding this. Tom says, "Evening all. You've probably mentioned it, but Martial limped off at halftime. Yeah, we're not talking about the Man United game tonight, but that's definitely a good plus for us." Tom also says, "The owners might think 100 million is his market value, but it's worth more than double that to us."
Spot on.
So let's move down. James said, regarding goalkeepers, I don't think we're doing that bad at all. To be honest, Owen, hi, Miss Philly. I love your cheese. I don't know what you're on about, but there you go. Eamon says Rice is 21, could play at the highest level until the age of 34. His peak isn't until 7 years' time. He still has massive potential. 100 million is an insult. If you think 100 million is an insult, what the hell's 28 million then? It's even more of an insult. Russ, yes, we've had this discussion, you know. I know you're a busy man, but we've had this discussion. It certainly is always sunny in Philadelphia. There you go. There you go. And James has come back and said, no player is priceless.
Oh, James.
No player is priceless at
I
all.
disagree because I think of, okay, well, what's the next best alternative, right? Who would you replace them with and what their cost is? I don't think can even come up with that for Rice right now.
Yeah. I'm sure the link will be sent to the man to come and discuss it. And here he is, just as I say that, he pops into the green room.
I'm out.
Right. We are going to talk about Mark Noble, but we're going to have this debate first. But firstly, we are joined back by Mike. Mike, good evening.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Mike.
You all right?
Right, here we go.
Oh, there he is.
Ding, ding, ding. Right, James.
Coming in, Fever. What you got?
James, say your piece.
No player is priceless. Like at the end of the day, if someone come in and said 150 million, and we went out and bought an entire new team, and we were the top 6 established team, tell me that's not what we all want here. Now, if someone can tell me different, then I'd like to hear it.
I mean, I hear where you're coming from, James. All right, and we said this the other night. I think we said it last night. It's not about just what as the comment came up earlier. It's just not about what his market value is. For me, it's more along the lines of, you know what, with Declan Rice in our side going forward for the next, let's say, 8 to 10 years, with that boy in our squad. In my opinion, our positioning in the league would be a steady, top 6, let's say. And the monetary value over 8 to 10 years of him being in the squad is worth more than just £100 million. What we can get in from league finishes and cup runs, etc., long term means more to me than cashing in tomorrow for him. That's just me, and like you say, we're all about
basically the way I look at it is basically he's only this be real here, he's only one injury away. Like as a player can get injured at any time, and he could lose value like that. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't want to sell Declan Rice. I want to build around Declan Rice. But if we had ownership who was like us as fans and as ambitious as us as fans, then you've got to respect that. Like if you had owners in there that was going to go and pump in 150 million, I'd be like, no, keep him, build around him, and that's your top 6 team. But if someone like Man City come in and said, right, we'll give you 150 million for him, that's a lot of money that you can turn away and go, you know what, I'm going to buy a goalkeeper, a left back, 2 strikers, 2 midfielders, and then you've basically built a established top 8, top 6 team there.
Yeah. Mike, what do you think about that, mate?
Yeah, I hear what James is saying, but I think it's so difficult to replace Rice himself. Do you know what I mean? I mean, and he's young. He's 22. I mean, he could hold that position down, and he's not reached his peak yet, and he won't for probably another 4 or 5 years. I just think, I understand what you're saying, James. I know we could probably do a total rebuild, but you know what our owners are like.
Now, if you let me ask you this then, right? I'll change up a little bit. if we had good owners, would you sell him?
Katie?
Only if there's good, viable player options to replace what is available out in the market, and those players can cohesively play together. So as we can see, you can get the best striker in the world, but if they don't fit in our system, it's not going to work.
Yeah. I mean, guys, I can see what James is saying. I can see what Duke, Mike, Kate is saying. James, I'm going to put this to you. Is it a risk worth taking for? If that kind of money comes in, is it a risk worth taking for? That perhaps if we do that, we get in a crisis that there isn't somebody like that to come in. Is that a risk that you would be prepared to take?
In a roundabout way, if they was to say 150 million, for instance, and that 150 million was going on players, then you'd have to consider it. But we all know 150 million is not going on players.
Right.
So we need to be realistic here. Now, if it's an hard one, because you can look at it. I'll tell you what, we're looking at it like this. Look at the Gareth Bale at Spurs when Real Madrid called in. Took him out of Spurs. Spurs got that money and made them into a Europa League team, then a Champions League contender team. We're miles away from being a Champions League team. We're doing it now, but I'm telling you something now. Next year we won't be there because we ain't got the financial backing. You have to build it up over time. You have to get Europa League, and then nick a Champions League. Like, there's teams in the top 6. There's always 2 big clubs who don't get Champions League, and usually, like, that's where the money is. And if someone said to me right now and said to me, James, right, you're going to get 150 million and that's going to buy you an entire new team for Declan Rice. One player, remember, you sell one player and you're getting 150 million for it. You have to consider that. Listen, I love Declan Rice. I think he's world class. I think he's one of the best players in the country, if not one of the best players in Europe. But you've got to weigh up the options. Would I want to see West Ham progress for the next 10 years? Or would I have a player on my team who's world class, but we don't do nothing for 10 years? That's what you've got to look at it.
Yeah, you're right, James. But I'll go back to what I said about the owners. I mean, we could sell him. They're not going to.
The owners are a different story. Let's be honest, like the owners are a completely different story. The owners are a different story.
Let's see what.
I think David Moyes is doing a great job, and we've got to be realistic. If he can build us something like what happened at Everton, I'd be well happy with that. In the next sort of 4 or 5 years, to build and consistently be in around having a crack at that top 6, I'd be well.
See, even then though, right? Everton had to sell Wayne Rooney. To sort of progress, and he was one of the top youngsters at the time. Don't get me wrong, I agree with you. Like, I know our owners wouldn't spend the money. Right, they would probably pocket it after that and give us something like 50 million or something. Do you know what I mean? Which is like ridiculous. But sometimes in life, I've had enough of seeing West Ham keep fighting relegation, and we never, as I say it, and I said it on Jake's show numerous times. I'm very passionate about this. I never left Upton Park 5 years ago to be relegation candidates. I want to be top 10, top 8. If it's good enough for teams like Aston Villa, Everton, let's be honest, are we any? Are we as good as Everton? I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Right, let's see what the people have said in the chat, and then we'll move on to our final subject. W and P says Sully will sell Rice for sure, probably for 80 million. Always leave them wanting more, Duke. There you go. Gates is saying helium.
Tell him to go away.
Go away. Don't go away. I need the viewers. Tom says, who would realistically join us that would be better than Declan? Manda says, how can you put a price on the surge of love and support for the Hammers lately? Eamon says, whoever offers 28 million for Rice needs to give up the drugs as the chips. There you are, having a bad. Gatesy said, Jake asked Duke how many canisters of helium usually sells for police, asking for a friend.
I'm not doing it on helium.
Oh dear. Amanda says Rice and Suzuki are priceless because of their spirit. Tom says Moyes has proven you don't need to spend 150 million on a squad to get a team challenging the top four. Dawson 2 million, Kufal's 5 million. Exactly, mate. Exactly. WP says owners don't run their business for fans. Oh god. Oh god.
Oh my
They're not.
days! What was that?
I can hear it. I can hear it.
What was that last comment? Please go back to that last comment, please. Like, I've got to listen to this one, right? 2 million, the one where it said 2 million, 4 million, and all that, and we're challenging for the top four, right? I will say to Tom right now, right? Will we be challenging next year? Like, this year's been a freak year right now. Yeah, we can all admit that. You got like teams all over the place. Man City are winning the league, right, in a poor league. Yeah, and we're up there. We're doing well. But I guarantee you, next season, if the finances come back, we won't even be in the top 6 or 7. We'll be lucky if we're there. We're lucky if we're in the top 10. Like, you need investment, and that's the problem with this club. We need investment. Like 60 million for a summer transfer budget when we need 7 players. What, you're telling me that we're going to go and get 7 players for 8 million each? Need better than that.
Yeah. WP says owners don't run their business for fans. They're not thinking of replacing Rice with a similar player. Sully is thinking of the money value of their asset.
Yeah.
James says, so why are you going to replace so who are you going to replace Rice with, or will you be happy with 150 million in the bank? I can't see another Rice out there. Same story with Souček.
But the thing is, we've replaced Noble with Souček now, and who knew Souček? Who can say here right now and go, oh, we knew Thomas Souček in Slavia Prague? Say no more.
Eamon says Arsenal spent 150 million on midfielders and 150 million on strikers, and they are struggling to stay in the top 8, let alone top 4. Money isn't everything. There you go. Right, Tom's coming back. He says, we'll only know if it happens, James. I
hope it don't. I hope he stays with us for the rest of his career, but we've got to be a bit realistic. At some stage, he's going to want to play Champions League football and be captain of England, and it's either we sell him to a club and we go up to the next level, or we go to the next level with investment. You can't have it both ways.
Yeah. Tom says, and didn't James just say he wanted regular top 10/top 8 football?
I do want regular top 10, top 8/football, but we ain't going to do it with the budget that we've been handed. Simple as that. Like 60 million. Yeah. Like, let's be honest. Even Duke can vouch for this, right? £60 million for a summer budget for a team that needs at least minimum 6 players. Like, is that good enough?
Listen, I said 7 when I sat down and I worked out position-wise, and I took into consideration that, you know, the players that we've got, the players that could be leaving, and I did do a video on it, and I did say we need at least 7, and I don't think we're going to pick up those 7 for that amount of money. Not when you're looking at one of them's a goalkeeper, and that goalkeeper could cost us 25 plus. Then, you know, unless you're going out and you're trying to find someone from, you know, the next Neymar in South America, or, you know, another 4 Soufal type players in, you know, in Eastern Europe, that money's not going to go very far.
Yeah. Right. Just before we talk about Noble, we were going to talk about 15 minutes ago, but this debate has sparked passion. The debate sparked passion on the West Ham panel tonight, and the question is: ask everyone one player and one player only we should sign. Katie, I'm going to come to you first. If you could pick one player, who would you pick for us to sign in the summer?
Lingard.
Mike.
Phil Foden. It ain't gonna happen, but that's who I'd have.
Duke.
I'm gonna go Henderson. Henderson in goal. That's who I'd go for. If we were gonna have to pick one, he'd be who I'd go for.
Yeah. And James.
Nick Pope, mate. He's the man. He's the one that if we go and get him, then we're turned into a top team. Nick Pope.
Yeah. Right. Tom's gonna have the last dig at you now. He says, Jim's got a very successful nibble out of me there.
He loves it.
I know
he loves it. He's happy with his Dawson win on Monday. Know what I mean? In his fantasy league.
He is. He is. Right. Let's talk about Mr. Noble then. I've got ready his opener now. I'm not going to read it all because we'll be here all night. But I'm just going to take out some parts of it. Christ, that is quite small, isn't it? I'm going to read it off this one.
I told you had to read it. No.
I tell you what. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. That's that scrapped. Oh God. We're live, ladies and gents. We're live. Right, let's go up there, shall we? Dearie me. Let's just go with that. Oh, you can't even see it. Yes, you can. Right. I'm going to read it off. So basically said, I wanted to write this letter to personally tell you that I am accepted. I am delighted to have accepted the opportunity to extend my contract with the club until the summer of 2022. I have also decided, after much consideration, that the 2021 season will be my 18th and final one as a first-team player at West Ham United. It's a decision I have made following a lot of discussion with friends, family, and then he continues on. And then he says up here, first and foremost, I still firmly believe I have a lot to offer on the pitch. I would not have gone and signed a new contract if I didn't feel I could do myself justice or bring value to the team. And then he goes on to say, I still wake up every morning with that excitement in my stomach, eager to work hard alongside the players and keep pushing the changing room on. This past year has without doubt been the most unusual of my career due to COVID. And then we'll just, we could read it all, but then at the bottom, this is the bit I like. He then says, my connection and love for West Ham United will be forever. I mean, what a man. Katie, I'm going to come to you first. He'll be sorely missed. Do you think that's the right decision? I mean, I've read you parts of that there. It's just what a man.
I would like to see him play for another season, but I do think it is the right decision. I think he is making the right decision for himself, especially not playing as much this year. I just can't see him producing next year. So I think that he, is cutting himself a little bit of a loss there and just kind of, taking this year and on a high note and, continue with the team in another fashion. And we do hope that it is on the sideline. So I think that he is making a wise decision for himself.
Yeah. Duke, dearie me.
It's going to take some getting used to, mate.
It is. Duke, what a man. The memories we've got of him, you guys have got more memories than I have. But it tells the story. 18 years it's going to be, and I wasn't alive in his prime, and that just tells you it, really. That just tells you it. Duke, do you think it's the... Jesus Christ. Duke, do you think... Yeah, Casey, you pointed that out. You put me in this position now, and it's
sorry.
Duke, do you think it's the right decision? And obviously, we're all sad to see him go. What memories have you got of the man?
Listen, I couldn't be happier that he's decided that he wants one more year. The guy doesn't deserve to end his career in the empty stadiums that you've had around this season. He deserves the biggest send off that every single one of us could give him. You talk about memories, mate. The one that there's a couple. One that sticks in my mind is the tears on the pitch after the Spurs game. That last minute goal that he was devastated. He was absolutely heartbroken at that game. Don't get me wrong, that game changed our season. That for me, that was one of the catalysts that we stayed up because of that game. But to see him on the pitch, and I was watching it back not so long ago actually, and to see him burst into tears at the full-time whistle, you could see what it meant to him. The goals from that season, the goal against, I think it was Bolton, edge of the box on the volley, the pullback from Carlos. Absolutely, the guy's been brilliant for us, But that's the one thing that does stick out in my mind is that Spurs game. The fact that he burst into tears at the end at the full-time whistle will always stay with me.
Yeah. For me, the two memories that I was just thinking about there was that fantastic goal against Leicester that a couple of years ago that kind of solidified our safety in the Premier League, and crying on the pitch after the last game at the Boleyn and his emotional speech. James, I know you'd love him. We all love him, but just fire away. Say what you want to say, mate.
I cried, mate. I'm not even ashamed to admit it. I was there when I read that letter and I see the video of him. I was in bits. He's been through hell at our club, and he has been through hell. And he's come out the other side, and he's walking away now, knowing full well that the club's in good hands. You know what I mean? There's been dark days at West Ham when we've been on the verge of bankruptcy and losing everything, and we can't go and support another team. It's not in our blood. The only club we have is West Ham United, and there was once upon a time when we could have lost that. But as a man, as a bloke, and as a local lad, he's lived his dream. Like, he grew up from around the corner, and he went and played for his boyhood club that he loved, that many fans would love to do. And you know what? He's quality. I love him.
Yeah, completely. Mike, to you, I mean,
I've seen him since he was a little kid. And like James, I did have a tear in my eye, and I'm not afraid to admit it. You know, every game he's played, he's given everything he's got, every single game. And West Ham fans, that's what they want to see from a player. And Mark Noble, like I said, he's a fan. He is a fan, full stop. And he deserves to go out with the biggest send-off that we can give him. And he does deserve this next year. And I just hope we have a great year again. I just hope we have a year that, you know, he can be proud of. If we get in the Europa League, we need him for those games. We need a lot more players, I know, if we get into that position. But, you know, he's going to get a few games here and there, and he knows that. He knows he's not going to be starting games, but he doesn't care. He's a fan. He's there. He's cheering everyone on every game. You know what I mean? He's there, sat in the subs bench as a fan, and he's wanting to win so much. It's unbelievable. And like I said, those tears at the end of that game, that's Spurs game. I won't never forget that. You know, it means so much to him. It means so much more to him than it does to other players, you know, and he's there giving that vibe off to the rest of them. Do you know what I mean? Even if he's only at training or he's sat on the bench, he's still a great guy to have around.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely had his highs and lows. Highs, that 2012 playoff final, everything else. I mean, the very big lows that that we've had in the anniversary that was yesterday, 3 years ago. But I mean, Duke. You're never coming back on here because this is gonna annoy me. I'm only joking, but Duke. I mean, he went through the highs, he went through the lows. And he's still with us 18 years. I don't think we'll ever get anybody like him again.
Well, not if James has his way, because we'll be letting Declan Rice go. He's the only one, and I think we were talking about. No, me and James were talking about it last night, and he's the only one really that if we do become consistent and solid with our finishing in the league, he has no reason to leave. You know, James said it earlier. He wants to play. He's going to want to play Champions League football. He's going to want to go and captain England. If we can give him that, he has no reason to move on. He has no reason to leave the club. Do I think he can get anywhere near Noble's he'll beat Noble's 500 plus appearances. He'll probably, with the amount of time he's got left in his career, he will push Billy Bonds for that total number of appearances played, because he's got so long in the amount of time that he can still play, and he could do all that at that club if we can get those Champions League places and strengthen the squad around him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's have the debate now. Stands, statues, stadiums, penalty spots. Let's have it.
You've seen my video, haven't you?
Oh, but we've got to see it. I mean, I haven't had time to watch it all, but it did it did pop up on my notifications box, so I will watch it. Duke. But Katie, what would you like to see happen in the London Stadium, outside the London Stadium, to commemorate the man?
You know, whatever it is, it has to be huge. I don't even know. I wouldn't be the right person to know how to give him that justice. Mike or James may be better at that.
Yeah. Mike, we'll put it to you then.
We've got a spare stand.
See the thing is, I saw JP say this last night. That's the corporate stand, and perhaps they won't put that to him. But I mean, he's got to have something. I put the statue thing there. I mean, it would be. I think a statue's a bit far. I mean, who we've got in the statue? We've got we've got massive legends there. But let's have the debate, because I know James is brewing there and he wants to say something. But Mike, what would you do to commemorate the man?
He deserves something big, exactly like Katie said. You know, why not the other stand?
Yeah.
Why not?
Somebody did. Yeah. Somebody did bring up given the penalty spot. I mean, it.
That's a good one.
Yeah. I mean, Declan Rice, Jesse Lingard stepping up to the Mark Noble penalty spot. Right. I know James is going to now burst off and say, "Is Mark Noble a legend? Should he deserve this? Should he deserve that?" James, go.
He's lived the dream of every West Ham fan, mate. So he deserves to be applauded for that. He started off at the academy. He's got into the first team. He's captained the team. The man deserves to be the last stand. At the end of the day, you can't. Is he a legend? He's a legend in loyalty. Let's remember that. And in West Ham's a working class background club. We're not like for the fanciness. We are the Academy of Football, and one of our own has been with us from the start to finish, and I think he needs to be applauded for that. Now, a statue, not for me. A stand, yeah, because when people grow up, when I have kids, when my kids have kids, they can look at that stand and go, who was that man? Oh, that man's Mark Noble. That man started his career at 14 years old, 15 years of age, and he played with us till he was 35, 36. And he never left us in lumber. He never walked away when he could have got a better offer or more money elsewhere. And to me, that means a lot more than someone scoring loads and loads of goals but not winning anything, i.e. Harry Kane.
Yeah. Right. I'm gonna give the floor to you. Anything you want to say about Mark Noble? Any memory? Anything you want to get off your chest? Anybody? Just fire away. There we go. Silence. Thank you very much.
It's heartbreaking. We don't want to say goodbye.
No, true.
But it is time.
No, yeah. I mentioned it earlier, Jake, on mine. You know, you got lads your age that have grown up with Mark Noble as our club captain. You know, you don't know anything different at the minute. And in 30 or 40 years' time, we're going to have, you know, a younger generation of fans that, if we were to name the stand, and James knows my comments on this, if we were to name the stand after Frank Lampard Senior, or you know someone else that's had a lot of appearances for us, Alvin Martin, you know, if we were to name that the last stand after him, it's going to become irrelevant in probably 30 or 40 years' time, when there's going to be fans that are going to the ground that these names mean nothing to them. You know, Bobby Moore, it'll be drilled into youngsters because of people like me and James, you know, and all the other fans of our age, Katie, etc. Mike, you know what I mean here. But the likes of Bobby Moore, it's going to be drilled into, you know, youngsters as to who this guy is, unless England win a World Cup again, because then he doesn't become that pedestal player that is the only England captain that win the World Cup. You know, someone else will come in, and then that memory starts to fade away again. Although he'll be the first, it will fade away again. And youngsters are not going to be able to relate in 40, 50 years' time, when you've got, you know, my son's 6. He'll know who Mark Noble is because I'm going to bloody tell him about him. But there's going to be other youngsters that are growing up now that are going to be 40-year-olds going to the ground and going, who was Mark Noble? Because then who was Alan Devonshire, or who was Bobby Moore, or who was Frank Lampard Senior, Billy Bonds? It's going to become irrelevant to a younger generation. We want to keep it relevant. So that stand name needs to be the Mark Noble stand, because it keeps it relevant to a younger generation of fans who are going to know as they get older that that's who he was.
But it also gives everyone hope in the Academy of Football. Like when they look at that man and what he's done, you can look up at their stand and go, well, he can do it, so can I. That's an inspiration in my eyes, and that is worth more than anything. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Mark must have known we were talking about him tonight, because I've just jumped on Twitter and this is what I found. He said the beginning. I'm going to zoom in on this. I mean,
look at that.
That's great.
If any of you could spot which one Mark is there, I'd be impressed, because I mean, I'm looking on it. I mean, that's a quite old picture. Obviously, I can't spot Mark there, but he's there somewhere. I mean, that's he must have known we were doing this. But
I would have gone top. I would have gone top row, second one from the left would be my guess if I had to look at those one. There.
That one.
Yeah, that young chap there. That'd be my guess looking at him. That's the only one that even resembles.
Yes, that is close.
What he looks like. Yeah, that'd be my go-to.
Yeah. I did just see something on here as well. But I'm just gonna find that. But I mean, a legend, and let's hope that he would always be remembered. I can't find it now. But somebody did say something about Rashford could perhaps be out as well. I don't know whether that's true or not.
Cavani's definitely out. Cavani's out. If Martial links out tonight and possibly no Rashford, oh, go on. Oh, I'll rub my hands together now for Sunday. Go
on. This is really going to annoy me now because I can't find it. But it did say Martial out, Rashford out. We could be in for a very good shout. But I think somebody just said Bruno going to be rested as well. I mean, people are saying United have an injury list picking up. I mean, there's a bit more of a chance there. There's a bit more, players are getting injured. But we're going to end the show here, but let's just go through a few comments. G'day. Well, come on. Before we finish, what's the time, Kieran? What's the time over there? W&P says, we don't own the land outside. We don't own any stand. Not much we can do for Noble. Right, I've just seen this, and Duke, you've got to make a decision now because I literally can't be bothered. Right, this show here, I'm pressing end broadcast now.
What are we going to get you to sing, Jake? I think we need to Gangnam Style. There it is. I want you to learn the words, even the foreign bits. You've got to go. That's what I want there. Right. There you go. Gangnam Style.
Without you, the only person that I sing with on here is Adam Frankel, and he's not. My sing partner isn't here tonight. I'm not doing that. That's like Kuyopi Johanna. No. I've just said that. There is not a chance. There is not a chance. Hammers, Duke. There is not a chance. Give me something. Give me something.
Tonight, Jake. That'd be a good one for you.
Who?
The Lion sleeps tonight. Ask your dad.
Yeah, I know. I really don't want to sing it. Any other suggestions? Does it really be Duke has to do me dirty? There you go. 6:35 in Brisbane. Right, nobody's saying anything, so we're going to end the show there. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe to West Ham Unofficial if you want. Just give me a normal song for goodness sake. Right, we're on 17 viewers. Watch the viewers go down now.
Think of a song quick. I'll tell you what, anything by Lewis Capaldi. There you go. I'll keep it current, and you can have anything by Lewis Capaldi. I don't like him, so it don't matter if you ruin the song. Don't worry about it.
Lewis Capaldi, what does he do? What songs does he say?
Like I said, I don't know. I don't like him.
Right, here we go. Right, I can't believe I'm doing this. When I started doing this properly in September, I didn't think I'd be sat here at 8:35 on the 11th of March. Right. Before you go. Right, that's Lewis Capaldi. There you go. Right, Duke, you've done me dirty.
Good
Right.
man, Jake.
Right, any other comments before we wrap it up? Eamon says, like to see Noble work under Moyes and then take over from him in a few years' time. Duke, what did you think of us singing then? Before you go. There you go.
Yes, that's all I've got for you, mate. Yes. You did sing.
Right, there you go. Somebody's right, no, that's the wrong comment. Pretty bubbles in the air. Will we all do that together to make us all look like absolute idiots? And Duke, you're starting it.
How did this come down to me?
Well, it has. It's my show, my rules. You start it, mate.
Oh, there's no need. All right, James, you gonna come and help me out?
I'm on mute.
What do you mean? Look, listen, right? What is this?
Nah, I'll help you, man. Go on. We'll wait for you to later.
Jake, you're going to fall out, son. I'm telling you, right? You've got to be nice to me. Yeah?
Right, come on then. Right,
come on.
Right.
I'm forever, brother.
Oh my god!
It flies so high.
Very rage this guy. That time delay. Really Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe to West Ham Unofficial if you do. Thank you to Katie. Thank you to Duke. Thank you to
Don't worry, mate. Just keep practicing. It's all right. It's fine.
Yeah, well. Thank you to Mike. Thank you for Jay, and thank you to James. You guys have got decent names, so thank you very much. Subscribe to West Ham Unofficial if you want to. And I will be back for a preview sometime in the future. And goodbye. Come on, you Irons.